Maxim number 75. And this one can be confusing. If you get sexually rejected, do not admit it to yourself, and especially don't admit it to the girl. Again, self-deprecating humor has no place in your life. So even if a girl, and let's just say, you don't even have to say sexually rejected. If you get rejected in any manner, because again, sexually rejected means like if you're trying to escalate, you got her out and she avoids the kiss, or you simply have to recover and drop her at her door and forget it ever happened and never ask her out again. If a girl shuts you down sexually, that means she's got a hard limit, and that's fine. All girls have. You don't need to know why. You don't have to beg the question. You don't have to bring it up in the future. You just show up with a new girl the next day. The best revenge and recovery is to move quick onto other women. But when you do get rejected, there's no reason to hem and haw. It's just like blowing a play when let's say you're playing a sport and, you're in football, and I always use it like a cornerback blows a play. And again, they have a down and they've got like 30 seconds to recover and get to the next play, maybe even less than that. And that's what you have to do in game with women. You have to have a fast recovery. Something bad happens, you get rejected, you recover, you're on to the next girl. You open your phone, you're texting the next girl. You're getting the next girl in front of you. You move on, and there's always a time to review, kind of like if you're seeing a bad pattern or a pattern of bad behavior or bad outcomes over time, then there might be something that needs to be reviewed, or it might be a weak spot in your game. But in general, if you've made it this far, or if you're a beginner and you've got the structure and logistics and a plan, you're way ahead of the curve. And most of this is going to be a matter of getting experience. And it doesn't take you long to get experience, but you have to develop a short memory. That way, when you do get rejected, which is completely part of this game, everyone gets shot down at some point, and sometimes more often than not. But you're going to have a lot of victories. You're going to have a lot of wins too. So the more numbers, again, it's just like sales. It's a numbers game. You talk to 100 girls, you're just going to do better than the guy that talks to 1 or 10. So push the numbers, get good over time. But if you get rejected, don't admit it to yourself and don't admit it to the girl. You simply flat face, no reaction. Okay, you have a great day. And then you move on. And then you never contact her again. And you show up with a new girl. You might show up with her sister. Again, when a girl rejects you, everyone in the vicinity is free play. You can go out with her best friend, you can go out with her mother, you can go out with her sister. Nothing wrong with that. If a girl says, hey, you're not for me, and you're like, oh, okay, well, you might be for her sister. You might be for her cousin or her aunt or anyone close by, her best friend. That is what you have to remember. Do you think game helps you in other? Matt asked me, Matt Dempsey, if you can see it in the question box, does it help in other parts of your life? I believe it does, because a lot of this, just like recovering quickly, guys will be looking for a new job and they're going to get rejected a lot. All they need is one yes. But if you get caught up on each rejection in anything, and yes, there's a time to review and reflect, but in general, if every rejection literally devastates you and you're incapable of getting out of bed the next day, and you're depressed, and you skip the gym, and you're not yourself, it's going to take you a long time to have any success. And you learn this in business too. It used to throw me for days, weeks, months at times when something was going wrong with the business. And I had to get over that. I had to get to the point where there's always going to be fires going on. There's always going to be problems literally from 4 a.m. to 11 p.m. My phone would be ringing with problems, and you have to fix it and move on, fix it and move on. And then when things aren't going that well, you still have to function. And again, a lot of this, you become very immune to the drama going on around you, and you realize how normal it is. But yes, it carries over. And again, I always like the sports analogy to recovering quickly when a girl rejects you. Guys can relate to that. You can go, oh God, yeah, in football, the coach is like, okay, next down, let's go. You got to put that behind you. You blew the play, let's move on. We'll figure this out in practice. And that's what you have to do out in the world, especially with women, is you get rejected. Yeah. You're going to go through thousands of women in your lifetime. And a girl rejects you, it becomes nothing because the next girl's going to say, great. So you don't dwell on the rejection. You sure don't admit it to her, or there's no reason to ask for feedback. You can, because again, most of the time when you get rejected, it has absolutely nothing to do with you. She's got an ex-boyfriend. She fucked some rando last night, so she's not ready to fuck another rando today. Her ex-boyfriend's getting out of jail tomorrow. She's pregnant. You just don't know it. There's always something going on in the background, especially with women, because they got so much goddamn drama that they can't breathe. So yes, it does carry over, and you will learn that because anything that you're busy and moving fast is going to be tumultuous. So you have to kind of become immune to the ups and downs and just move forward with it. But yes, life in general life in general will move forward. Again, you just have to roll with the punches and do the best you can with what you have in front of you. But you have to move quickly because too many guys get stuck with a bad situation and they stay in it for far too long. So Maxim number 75, recover quickly. If you get sexually rejected, don't admit it to yourself, and especially don't admit it to the girl.